Hello and welcome again to Practice Group International. My name is Mr. Hearn and I am your TOEFL tutor. In this video, I want to talk about something that's very important. Now, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but it happens quite often. I've heard it many times over the years, and that is technical difficulties while you're taking your TOEFL IBT. Now, what happens? Let's say, for example, you're in the reading section, and this is where the problems usually come up. In the reading section, suddenly your internet loses connection and you can't go forward. But when the test finally resumes, you found out that the clock was still running and you've lost time. Emotionally, this is traumatizing, right? Not only physically you've lost time, so it puts you at a disadvantage for taking your test, but emotionally, it's put you at a disadvantage because now you know you're not going to be able to pass this section. You're going to have to take this test again, and you blow the rest of the test. Sound familiar? I know it's happened to many of my students over the years, and I just want to let you know what you should do in this time. You see, when this happens, what my students have typically done in the past is that they raise their hand and say, excuse me, hey, proctor, my test is having problems. And the proctor says, don't worry about it, just continue, finish your test. Don't. I'm going to tell you right now, don't finish your test. Insist that the proctor cancels your test and puts a note that it was technical difficulties, because they don't get paid unless you finish your test. So they have an incentive to make sure, oh, just go ahead and finish it. However, if you finish your test and you get a bad score, guess what? When you want to test again, you have to pay again. And if you have technical difficulties, the test has technical difficulties and you cancel your test, they have to give you credit so you can test again at no charge. That's the main thing. You want to make sure that if there are technical difficulties during your test, that you insist that they cancel your test at that moment. Make a note that there were technical difficulties on their end. Now, I'm not saying that you can't trust ETS, but I'm telling you, in my experience, I really had to struggle and fight for my students to get credit for the test that had technical difficulties. Now, sometimes you're a little embarrassed and you don't want to say anything. Don't be embarrassed. You're paying a lot of money for this test, a lot of money. So make sure that you get your money's worth. And if you have problems, you make sure that you stand up for yourself and tell them, no, I'm not going to finish this test. I want you to make a report and make sure that you get a copy of that report. Okay? Because when I have to call ETS on behalf of my students, it's like a 2-hour call. ETS does not like to admit that they've made mistakes. So you make sure that you have proof that what has happened is not your fault and that you get credit to take that test again. If you're having any of the difficulties taking the test, please watch my videos. The ones on YouTube are pretty good. If you want to have some better videos with a lot more explanation and the ability to ask me any questions anytime you want, please sign up for my online video course where I can help you step by step get through this crazy time and finish and be free of the TOEFL IBT. I look forward to hearing from you.